Happy Monday. Big week ahead. We've got the Illinois Supreme Court. It's going to be hearing the arguments over the no-cash bail law, and it'll be interesting to see if two Supreme Court justices that received $1 million each from Governor J.B. Pritzker will be on the bench to hear that challenge to the lower court ruling. No cash bail in Illinois is unconstitutional, and that could give us an idea of what to expect in mid-May whenever the challenge of Illinois' gun ban gets in front of the Illinois Supreme Court. So let's go ahead and get into that here on WMAY. I'm Greg Bishop. You can always follow along, Bishop on Air, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You can stream us live on WMAY News, Facebook, Bishop on Air, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook as well. So it got multiple ways you can take part. You can also call in live and local at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here with Springfield's Morning News. And again, you can always email bishoponair@gmail.com. So multiple ways you can get a hold of us this morning. Good morning. All right, so let's get into it. One of the big questions that you keep seeing pop up is enforcement of the gun ban. Is it being enforced right now? We've seen and heard from various accounts and various circles that there have been some inspectors to arrive at federal licensed firearms dealers in Illinois, doing some inspections. Listen, I mean, the state has that capability right now to do those. Is that directly associated with the gun ban? We've also seen other instances of people sharing stories that they were, told to comply to a compliance check from a law enforcement official to see if they were carrying around an extended magazine. These, of course, are stories you're going to be hearing pop up all over the place. I can't independently confirm all of these. But if you hear of these types of things, please do pass that message along. Again, bishoponair@gmail.com. I am still awaiting for the Illinois Attorney General to provide me with the guidance that they gave Illinois State Police when it comes to how to enforce the gun ban or whether to enforce the gun ban after Friday of a few weeks ago now, out of Decatur, the Macon County judge issuing a final ruling that the gun ban in the state of Illinois was unconstitutional. That was on a county level. You've got the plaintiffs in that case essentially saying that deems the law null and void pending an appeal to the Illinois Supreme Court. So this is a question that we're going to try to figure out. I do have a pending Freedom of Information Act request into the Illinois Attorney General's office after the Illinois State Police said that they're following guidance from the Illinois Attorney General. So this next few days here, I'll keep you posted on what I get from the Illinois Attorney General. But the question of getting that clarity is something that even Republicans and the Illinois State Rifle Association last week at the Illinois State House, they raised ongoing concerns about, are we going to get that clarity, and how important it is that clarity come sooner than later.
I think the clarity should come now. We here as representatives, the governor, the attorney general have all sworn to uphold the Constitution. There's a ruling that has been made in more than one court. The attorney general is the attorney for the people. He represents the people, and he should explain to the people if this law is enforceable or not. And if he is saying it is enforceable and being enforced, why he is advising the governor to enforce a law the courts have held as unconstitutional, which would be in direct contravention of both their oaths of office. That answer needs to occur. It doesn't need to wait weeks. It needs to happen now.
State Representative Patrick Windhorst, a former state's attorney and somebody who has been pretty adamant in pointing out that this law is unconstitutional, he says, and something that we need to get clarity on if the Illinois Attorney General is indeed enforcing this. So I have yet to hear back from the Illinois Attorney General on if they are enforcing this, if they're telling Illinois State Police to enforce this, and how that's playing out. You've got this issue now in the Illinois Supreme Court after that Macon County judge issued that final ruling, that final order in the Macon County case, declaring that it was facially unconstitutional because of separation of powers. I apologize. That's the Safety Act. It's still pretty early in the morning. All right, it's 6:16 in the morning. So, but no, the issue is really about the equal protections, where you had certain individuals carved out of the law, including law enforcement, retired law enforcement, people who work in jails and security sector. So those individuals are exempt from the law. But if you are not part of those industries, then you have to comply with the law, which includes not being able to buy the AR-15s or magazine capacities of over 15 rounds for handguns or over 10 rounds for rifles. Also, you're going to have to register your firearms starting October 1st with a deadline by January 1st of 2024. This issue in front of the Illinois Supreme Court, where there's been some questions raised of a couple of Supreme Court justices that were elected in November, who last year, months before Illinois' gun ban was passed and enacted on January 10th, these two Supreme Court justices have a $1 million campaign contribution from Governor J.B. Pritzker. $500,000 coming from his campaign fund, and then another $500,000 coming from his revocable trust. And again, that adds up to $1 million to these two Illinois Supreme Court justice, then candidates, now justices. And we'll see just exactly whether or not we have recusals. And I think it'll be telling if indeed these two justices are on the bench when it's being heard in mid-May. But the story continues, right? And we'll continue to keep you updated all throughout the morning and all throughout the week. It is going to be a really interesting week. A couple of quick comments here. Wow, you guys are active this morning. Good morning. Good to see somebody got some coffee and some Cheerios. Thumbs up. Heard anything about statewide TRO and injunction? Well, we kind of just talked about that a little bit. Also, interesting to note, coming up later on this month, iGold, Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day. It's going to be potentially thousands of gun owners in Springfield. We will definitely be covering that coming up with some discussions beforehand, but also we'll get you a lot of coverage the following day after Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day here in Springfield. Good morning, guys. Good to see you all up and going this morning. Thumbs up.